welcome back. This is Travis.
And this is Kareem.
And Happy New Year. It's 2023. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, this is ASMR of a dum-dum in my tooth. Or in my teeth.
You have a dum-dum. What kind of dum-dum?
A
Oh,
cotton
the
candy.
sucker. The dum-dum suckers. Yes. Yeah. Oh, no. We have a lot of suckers in our studio at the moment. It sounds a little crazy, but no, it's like your sister.
You're so dumb.
You're dum-dum.
You are a dum-dum.
No, your sister, bought us all this candy for your birthday, and we have a lot of these dum-dum suckers.
So now we're both suckers.
Suckers for dum-dums.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. Dum-dum.
So what are we talking about today?
Dum-dums?
No. Well, we're talking about that currently, but what are we here to talk about today?
I think it's kind of more of like music and like how does it relate to us?
Is it kind of like, or is it?
And no, it is.
Okay.
We're talking about music today.
So that's what we're doing. We're talking about music and its relatability and influence to like the human psyche and how it just affects you as a human being, right? Like
yeah, for sure. It's like music is just crazy.
It's so
like,
crazy.
Like we find like music that we cry to and like we sing along to and like tribute to and whatever, and it's just I find it fascinating on more of like how music just makes everyone different. Like it's just more of like you can listen to a song and think something, and I can listen to a song and think something, and same song, different opinions.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay? Are you okay over there?
I'm okay.
Sir, smoke a lot.
Right. Music. Excuse me. Music. I think the reason what brought this topic up to me, like why I want to talk about it, is because clearly, if you see the studio that we built, it's obviously, I can't say obviously because they don't know, they haven't seen it. You'll see how influenced by music.
Pictures on Instagram. Don't worry.
We will. You'd see how the room is
Best
very
buds
musical.
with high points. Follow us.
Yes, follow, or be a leader. I'm just kidding. All of our records that we have, the vinyl player and vinyl player, yeah. On the speakers, see, you're making fun of me before, and now look at you, pro smoker.
Hashtag I am.
Mm-hmm. Right. So anyways, we have all these vinyl records, and I was, playing some the other day and was thinking to myself, like, wow, like, what art these things are, right? I know, obviously, the novelty of listening to music on vinyl is, like, not, like, convenient, but there's a beauty in, like, crisp experience sound-wise.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, the last week or two that we've had this set up, it's like we've sat up here multiple nights just, like, truly enjoying looking at the album, looking at how the artist kind of put it together, and, kind of looking at, the work that they put into it, as well as, the work, actually listening to it, like there's something about something physical and tangible in your hands.
Something that someone created is really cool to hold and say, wow, this is, an idea or a vision that this artist had, and since they had that vision and saw it come to life as a fully produced piece of art, their baby, to be able to hold it as like the consumer, the listener, the fan, sometimes you really do kind of appreciate all the work that goes into it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like in today's world, with all the streaming services, I think you like kind of lose sight of a lot of that. It's like, yes, you have access to all of this music, which is wonderful. It's like, I love my Apple Music. It's like, I can find any song I want and listen to it. But at the same time, I think you're kind of losing some value in the artist itself created the album the way they did.
Right.
And no one truly listens to albums from beginning to end anymore. And if they do, you have the diehards. But the average person is just listening to the one hit,
the singles,
piece of, or the radio stations or whatever,
Yeah, and I think the reason why they, why a lot of artists, like mainstream artists, were seeing trends of like just releasing short EPs of like 3 or 4 songs, and just kind of having those releases ever so often as opposed to full-length albums is because they believe that you're right, like the average person won't listen to them their full-length album, and then the record label doesn't want to invest in all of those other additional tracks and a whole project with music videos and promotion. So I think that to avoid disappointment from the record execs, having all this pressure on them, they release like a single at a time or a little like extended play EP. And I just think overall, having the experience of owning a vinyl that has this full songs, full album, it makes me appreciate the art and the music so much more. And I think that, yeah, like you said, you lose it on streaming services. And I like to own art. I like to have a piece. I like to visualize the project. It's not just listening. I like to see what the production is as well in terms of like visuals.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like
lyrics.
You almost become a little closer to the artist itself because like you're seeing the artist created the album the way they did.
Right.
Musically, vocally, even listening to it, even just, like physically on the album it's created, and you sit there and we look at the album, we read through and look at the pictures, and we truly listen to the
you
album.
Get to see the lyrics.
It's like
too,
we're both of us are sitting in the studio and we're listening to, an album from beginning to end, and sitting there for an hour and a half, or whatever the case is, and truly just, we're not doing anything else.
Right.
Our phones are gone. We're truly
it's entrancing. It's entrancing to have such a novelty way of consuming music
it's actually kind of like
in
very
opposition of
relaxing,
streaming. Yeah, like we can stream something right now, but it doesn't have that same effect because it's so or so easily accessible. But when you get up and put a record on and you're just laying there, it brings you back to a time where things were obviously a lot more inconvenient, but simpler in an appreciation, because
sure.
we have such a comparison to like when our internet is slow for like a minute, we're like but like what I'm saying,
well,
we've
it's
become
like the
so
other night,
far
it's like
fetched
I think
from
the
that.
internet went out, and it's like, you know what? That's fine.
Whatever.
I don't care if the internet went out. We put up some records on and we enjoyed ourselves.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. But I feel that we've come so far as a generation away from that and I think that's kind of how I'm tying in the vinyl conversation and listening to music in that way to this topic. It's like, how have we become so far removed from, just luxury and convenience and being like, just having everything so accessible to you at all times in such a, futuristic way versus like how it was just decades ago, and how, we would just enjoy the simpler things that people now see as inconveniences and they're so annoyed by. Like they couldn't be bothered. But yeah, I'm finding myself still like, I think there's something so refreshing about going hiking and being active and go be outdoorsy and not be on your phones, or go camping, and then also,
But I
listen
think
to
some
vinyl
of that
records
is
and-
just growing up in like maturity in itself. Like
Yeah.
it's like I understand like your point of like getting back to just being present, like that you say from time to time, and just.
I also like, feel that with music being like, and I said this before, being like the universal language of God, I think it brings everyone together, void of where you come from and all that stuff. I think you can be someone who just appreciates art and sound and storytelling. And I think that music is healing, and it has brought so many people together from all walks of life and, generations. And I think being able to sometimes relate music into my life and how
you can always find a song, and you can, like, if all of a sudden you're feeling sad, or
you can connect with something and know that you're not
or,
alone. Yeah.
Heartbroken, or whatever the mood is. Like, I think all of us can sit there and say, I want to listen to this song, like, instantly. If all of a sudden you have a bad day, I want to play this song.
But you know what's so beautiful?
We connect to music.
When like a song, you think of like a song that's a really feel good song, or like even maybe like a really emotionally heartbreak song that you want to be really compassionate about, or I mean that you feel it expresses a lot of compassion. It's so great that you can hear it like you know, in its success, like on radio or like through concerts and live performances. It's so great to see like a song that when you listen to, you feel so deeply in your soul and you're like, wow. And then to know that it is super successful because a lot of people love it and relate with it. Like that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty in music, that so many people that may not even like each other if they were just to like look at each other walking down the street, but for some reason they can all come together and appreciate this song and go to a live performance and
Correct.
and purchase the song.
It's actually
or
kind
whatever.
of amazing. You know, it's like you see concerts in, you know, giant stadiums of all your mainstream artists. It doesn't matter which one you like or don't like, but it's like you have like all of a sudden 30,000 people coming together, regardless of political belief or anything
Yeah.
else like that, and they're all coming for one common purpose.
But I don't
One
feel like it's
person-
that way now as much.
No, I think it is because
I think it
everyone
is
that
too.
comes
I
to the
think there is
concerts,
still a lot of it. I just don't think that it's like. I think
what I'm
after a
getting at is
while,
that
like
they're,
you know.
they're putting all of their differences behind themselves and just enjoying life.
Well, I was saying that
and
more because there's a
music
lot of live
itself.
performances that do get a little crazy, and there's a lot of like tragedy involved in it, and a lot of people go
Maybe,
for more
But
just
what
to
I'm
like.
getting at is more on the happy side of it is in you have 30,000 people coming to an artist to celebrate the artist because the artist is making them all feel good
Mhm.
or something, and all their differences in life is kind of put away. Yes, there's tragedy and negative things, but like music brings people together. Is
Oh no,
really what I'm
I
getting
think
at.
no. Obviously, that was the main point of why I even brought this all up. I'm just trying to offer the slight devil's advocate for also saying that there was more of an understanding, like world global understanding of why these music festivals or live performances and all these things were and like songs that become trends or movements or anthems, like songs like that. It's so beautiful that that's what has brought all of us together, like people as globally. But it's sad that I don't think it's as prominently acknowledged as it is. I think there's a lot of skepticism in music and in pop culture and agendas and motives and having certain art, which is always fine to have some art political and stuff like that. But I think sometimes we're seeing, with just even people's like overall life altering decisions, sometimes being pushed through music. And it's sometimes learning, like, as powerful as music can be, it can also be very influential to people in a very negative way as well. It could be. So it's kind of seeing and understanding and acknowledging, music is basically an extension of, our expression.
Yeah.
And or the highest form of our expression, in my opinion, artistically anyways, and in some regards spiritually. So I think that's kind of like the point I want to make, that vinyl records, having it up here, is what made me feel so connected to music and in a way that I haven't felt in a while. It's fun that I finally get to like listen to these records
It's fun.
again. It's been
and
so
it's
long.
very peaceful. It's very relaxing. It's very like stress free.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there and kind of like meditate in some aspects of just
So I guess that's the moral of the story here. That like, go get yourself a nice, decent record player. Like definitely at least a couple hundred, because the ones that are like 100 or less are just gonna screw up your records and the sound quality is terrible. But
it's like listen to the music.
mhm.
Put away your technology. Take the phones away. Take the iPads. Whatever. Just sit there.
Get some of your favorite records and
Find
just vibe.
find your favorite strain of weed to smoke, and just chill, relax.
Vibe, or you can do it with us. Just listen to us, put us on if you want, and just vibe and hang out, and maybe we will distribute our own personal, vinyls of either our favorite songs or created songs down the road, because I'm sure that that's probably the next direction we'll go in, is making our own little tracks. It'll be fun.
Yes, it would be.
Until next time.
Till next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.